top of the morning, and it is a beaut.
And the hope of the Irish as the future champion of the world.
A podcast is kind of like it's like a radio show that's not on the radio.
Welcome to the Barry J. McDonald Podcast. The place where dreams get dusted off and acted on. Because life is too short. We're living on a rock that's flying through space, and hey, what the hell else were you going to do with yourself here?
Hi, this is Barry here, and you are very, very welcome to today's podcast episode. Now, what are you like when it comes to admitting that you're wrong? Now, I'm a Taurus, and my wife will say that yes, that star sign is probably suited to me because I can be stubborn, I can be stuck in my ways, and it can take me a while to admit that I'm wrong. Now, I'm not one of these people who will never admit that they're wrong. It might take me a while, but sometimes I do see that maybe some of the things I've said, some of the things that I have done probably aren't the best I should have done at that moment. So why am I talking about admitting that you're wrong? Well, a lot of us don't like admitting that we're wrong. A lot of us don't like admitting that we made a mistake. We don't like admitting that we goofed up, that we messed up, that we did something we shouldn't have done. And maybe, coming up to the end of this year, it's time to maybe have a look at this past year and have a look back at all the things you did this year and then ask yourself the question, was I right? If someone said to you, well, did you work hard this year? You'd probably say yes. But is that right? If someone said to you, did you really give it all your 100% effort this year? You'd probably say yes. But is that right? Should you even be doing the thing that you should be doing? Maybe you're blogging right now, but maybe blogging isn't right for you, but you're so stubborn that, you're not willing to look around and see if maybe there's another vehicle that you should be using instead. Maybe your talents, maybe your skills are somewhere else. And maybe you're just kind of flogging a dead horse. And you're afraid to admit that, maybe you're doing the wrong thing right now because you've told everyone, well, I'm going to be a blogger or I'm going to be successful on TikTok. And because you've kind of, built a whip for yourself, you're, hitting yourself over and over again with it, trying to push it, but maybe it's not right for you. So going into 2023, maybe it's time to reflect, not just you, but also me, because I know I've made mistakes this year. I know I have let some things slip. I probably haven't, worked as hard as I probably should have. And maybe I have been more kind of set in my ways. I haven't, because I don't know what you're like, but again, I am someone who loves routines. I love doing the same things over and over again. Some people on the outside will probably say that's boring, but sometimes when you do get set in a routine, sometimes, you kind of lack the flexibility to maybe look left and right and say to yourself, well, maybe this might be a better option. Maybe I should be doing this instead. So maybe that's what maybe you should be having a look at this year, is having a look at the last 12 months. Did you work hard? Have you got anything to show for it? Maybe, maybe it's time maybe to face the fact that maybe you didn't work hard enough last year. Maybe you need to work harder next year. Or maybe the thing you're doing right now doesn't suit you. Maybe you're flogging a dead horse. Maybe it's just something you need to look at something else. You might need to be more flexible in your approach. You might find something else that might be better suited to you. Or maybe you just need to knuckle down and stick with it longer. Maybe you need to be someone who doesn't need to give up so often. Again, look back over the year. How many things have you tried this year and then gave up after a couple of weeks and never really sticking with it? So, maybe the best thing that you and I can do is maybe to admit today that we're wrong. And that maybe some of the things we've done in the past were wrong. And maybe being open to the point of view or the opposition that maybe something could be better if we do it the other way, or try it a new way, or stop listening to the nonsense that we tell ourselves when we're trying to convince ourselves, because we are the best person at convincing ourselves. We tell ourselves great stories. Oh, I worked so hard today, or you won't believe how much effort I put into that, or and we love those stories. We hold on to those stories, but really those stories sometimes aren't really to our benefit. They might keep us happy, but sometimes we need to actually just, put our head in the poop and actually smell the truth. Look around. Sometimes maybe looking at your PayPal account and just seeing, well, what's in the PayPal account now at the end of the year? That could be a hard, harsh fact to face. But maybe we need to face sometimes those harsh facts. So we'll actually see, well, what is the results? What results have I got from all I've done this year? So think about that today. You know, maybe some of the things you have done this year haven't been to your best benefit. Maybe you haven't worked that hard. Maybe you need to be more flexible. Maybe you might need to, you know, just look around and look back, as I said, over the year and see all the goof ups, all the mistakes that you've made, and admit that, you know, you made a mistake. But at least use that mistake, you know, to your benefit. So when you go into 2023, you don't make that mistake again, or you don't make it as often, or you're not as, you know, set in your approach as you were this year. So think about that today. Maybe you and I could be wrong right now, and maybe you might need to admit that we're wrong. Have a lovely day. Bye-bye. Would you like to know how I went from being a lowly shelf stacker, depressed, no confidence in himself, and how I went from that to becoming a popular children's author, and then on to even greater things, recording and selling my own digital products? If you'd like to find out how I did it, and if you would like to do the same yourself, if you head over to Writecom, that's WRITECOME.com, you'll find a great free report over there, which is called the Online Business Manifesto. And in that report, I'm going to show you the journey I went on from the beginning to where I am right now. And I'm going to show you the 3 business secrets I learned along the way. Now, these secrets aren't secrets that most people talk about. Some people don't even realize that they exist. So if you head over to Writecom, download the free report, you are going to be miles ahead of everyone else who has an online business. Have a lovely day, and I hope you enjoy this episode.